On the night of Saturday, the 10th of March 2012, a group of students ingested a substance that they believed would produce a pleasant, euphoric trip. Instead, they got a very long night involving police and paramedics, and 3 of them were eventually moved to the Royal Brisbane Hospital. One of these 3, 19-year-old Mathew Lee, was sent into the intensive care unit after suffering severe seizures and hypothermia. His friends were told he may not survive.
On the night of Matt's incident, myself and a group of friends had gone to this party.
It was fairly boring. We just came back and
caught a text from somebody saying that they'd acquired a vial of liquid LSD.
I assumed that when they took it, they thought it was something that it wasn't.
They met the guy the weekend before and they had his number, and yeah.
A friend of a friend who was supposedly a university student, and that was all I knew, who concocted some solution that got you really high.
They had taken stuff like that before.
Usually on acid, at first you feel, really euphoric and yeah, everyone's having a good time, but on this, when I went round, everyone was...
It was nothing like I had ever seen before in my experiences.
It was like a madhouse.
2 people, if I recall, sitting on the ground crying, one rocking backwards and forwards.
There was like 3 people that were in sort of like a K-hole and were just absolutely like not there at all, like they'd lost their minds completely.
They were looping. They had like a loop of things that they'd do, things that they'd say. They'd be saying the same things over and over again, doing the same things over and over again.
The most uncomfortable I've ever seen them, just like, yeah, everyone was asking for help.
People were screaming, banging their heads.
They were scared, they were distraught.
People fully becoming agitated, starting to get violent.
I'd never seen Matt like that before, ever.
Like, not really trying to let everyone know how bad he was feeling, just, because he thought he could handle it. And then, yeah, after a while, I remember he told Cody, he asked Cody to look after him, which I haven't seen him do before.
Matt can usually handle stuff, but he just couldn't handle himself on this stuff, which is why it was so scary.
He was trying to get out. He was trying to get out of the apartment. He'd just yell no, and then push everyone out of the way, and then run for the door, and we'd have to keep him inside. After a while of that, he just fell asleep. Then after, I don't know, a couple of minutes, he started to fit, and that's when we all flipped out.
Someone called the ambulance. The ambulance and the cops rocked up. Yeah, it was chaos.
It was at that point that it kind of went from a bunch of trippers having a bad time to, oh shit, someone could die here.
The cops pretty much treated it like a death from the second they got there.
One of them told me that he was dead, basically.
The paramedics were great though.
They weren't entirely sure what they could do. They just had to get him out.
I walked in and he was in a coma. He had tubes coming out of him everywhere. He was in the ICU.
The weeks after it were just terrible, and it was incredibly sad.
I didn't know what to think. They didn't know they couldn't tell me whether he was going to be okay. They said that they tried to bring him out of the coma that morning, but it was unsuccessful.
What we got told by the hospital was it was about 50-50 whether he'd survive, but if he did survive, he would definitely have long-term brain damage.
Hello.
So what were the legal repercussions of this incident for you?
The judge was pretty light on me. I got 9 months probation, which I'm still serving to this day. The judge basically was like, look, to be honest, it kind of just seems like it was a university mishap that's just gone really bad. It wasn't, some junkies needing to get a fix. It was just some kids fucking around, and it went seriously wrong. My advice is just be really fucking careful.
I hope this goes out to other kids, because you all think you're invincible. You all think that it's not going to happen to you, but it does.